AJ ruined everything he do. I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting older now, I got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm gonna pull four in the fucking white sand. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on the rise, I'm trying to keep a level head.
Yeah.
Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar. I'm Jalon, and this is Nice and Neat. And fellas, you know, with this episode, I'm actually going to start off with a story. I'm going to start off with a story because I want you guys to really be able to comprehend what we're talking about here. This story is actually a story I already told, and I'm just going to tell you guys the story, right? So this story comes from Boys in the Hood. It's a scene, Cuba Gooding Jr., his best friend Ricky gets shot in the back, right? Mm-hmm. Gets killed in the alley. By the way, they shot that in the valley. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it just worked out, right? Okay. Cuba Gooding Jr., his best friend, he gets shot in the valley, right? He gets shot in the alley in the back, and you know, Doughboy, his brother, played by Ice Cube, they need to retaliate. They need to make a decision, right? Cuba, he goes home. His father, played by Lawrence Fishburne, he goes and grabs his gun. His dad sees him, and he tries to discourage him from making this decision that he's going to go make, right, of retaliation. Cuba defies his dad, and he goes ahead and he goes with Doughboy, and he hops in the car with his homies, right? They're driving, and as they're driving, Cuba is thinking about the decision that he could make, what it could do for his life, how it can affect him, how it can affect his future. You know, he had aspirations of going to college, and how it can affect his future. And you'll hear very low in the movie, it say, yo, Doe. Yo, Doe. You got to say it again because he said it so low. He wasn't really being assertive when he said it. He's like, yo, Doe. And he asked him to let him out. And Ice Cube looked back, and we'll call this part a form of peer pressure. He looked back like, what? He's like, yeah, man, let me out. He said again, let me out. And he lets him out, right? When he lets him out, we're assuming Cuba goes back home, you know, and Ice Cube played his character's Doughboy. They go and they find the guys who went ahead and they killed his brother, and they kill those guys, right? A couple of weeks later, we see Doughboy gets killed as well. Cuba's now in college. Everything is good. Cuba makes it to college simply based off that decision to leave the car, right? So this episode, we're going to be talking about the importance and the power of decision-making and how it can affect your life, not just in those moments, but moving forward and progressing with the positive moments within your life. Mm-hmm. Oh, do you have any moments that you feel like were life-changing where you had to make a split decision?
Wow. To make a split decision? I'm sure. And you put me on the spot right now, and, you know, when I think back about that, well, actually, before I even say that, right, I think if it's not well known, let's start the trend of making it well known that the quality of your life is not only based off of the questions you ask, but the choices that you make as well, right? And I think back on my time when I've made some bad choices, you know, and Duke, I was actually with you on one of these situations that I'm about to mention. And back in 2013, you know, Duke and I, we played for the Denver Broncos. We were teammates together. We're actually on track to have a historical season, right? We were literally on our way to the Super Bowl, right? I mean, we hadn't made it to the playoffs yet, but based off of how things were going during the season, you know, we're on our way to the Super Bowl, all right? It's December 20th, which is my birthday. We're in Houston. All right, we fly to Houston on Friday night. The game not till Sunday. Now, if you've ever played pro sports, or if you're an athlete in general, you know when you travel to a city and the game is not for another 48 hours, that's like the best, one of the best travel situations you could have. You're like, damn, man, I don't have to play tomorrow. This is great, man. I'm gonna enjoy myself, you know. With it being my birthday, I'm like, shit, man. I'm excited to experience Houston. I've never been to Houston before. Let's get out.
With your boys.
I'm with my boys, fam.
Yeah.
I'm with my boys, bro.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with Ronnie.
Yep.
Shout out to my dog, Ronnie. You know, we all got drafted the same year or came in the same year. Things is good, right? Fuck it, let's go out. We go out to the strip club. We do our thing. We have a good time. We're responsible, but for some reason, whatever the reason was, we get back to the hotel, right? Past curfew, right? And that was a choice we made. Now we could have made the decision to leave earlier, leave sooner. We're pros at this time. We know what we're up against, right? We decided not, to get in on time, right? Got caught by the strength coach, right? The strength coach. Now this was a funny situation. He caught us on the way to the rooms, checked our ass real quick, right? Said some slick words in between, and was like, hey, if coach decides to find you guys, I'm gonna leave it at that, and maybe he told the coach or whatever, right? I say all that to say, now I'm there on business. My job is to play football on Sundays, right? But instead of focusing on my job, right, which is to play football, I'm out thinking about how I can have fun to celebrate my birthday. Now this is 48 hours before the game. So whether that decision, had anything to do with my performance, I don't know. But what I do know is, and Duke, I've never told you this, what I do know is I didn't play well. I didn't play well. I missed the open field tackle. I got scored on in the end zone on the scramble play, and I'm sure some other things happened, but those are two mistakes that I vividly remember making in the game, that caused me to see some repercussions after the game, whether that be reduced playing time or whatever the case may be, but making the choice to go out and not focus on my job resulted in me, and who knows if it did or not directly, but I felt resulted in me not being on my A game on game day, So to me, that directly affected not only myself, but my job, my performance, and my money. So like it's very like the choices you make, it could be so subtle, it could be such a small decision in your life, that could carry such a big outcome, and like it's just important for people to be aware of that, because as I was young, fresh in the league, these are things I wasn't thinking about, man. I was a young adult. I just felt like I knew it all. I felt like, shit, I could do that. I could go out and still perform well, and whether I mastered that later on in my career or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that moment in time in my life, I could reflect back on how I made a poor decision, and it resulted in a negative outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. So I think that I definitely remember you not playing that well.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I definitely remember you not playing that well, and I understand how the little things could just have such a big impact on our lives. And I think that life is all about decisions, and for the most part, where we are in life is pretty much a culmination of all of the decisions we've made or haven't made, And I think it's important for us to talk about decision making, because we've seen so many of us lose our lives, lose our freedom, lose money, lose our relationships, and so many other things due to bad decision making, and it's because sometimes it's because we let our emotions get in the way of us making sound judgment, especially growing up African American and already being a target in this country, especially growing up as an athlete and basically living under a microscope. Good decision making is super vital to our life, and oftentimes directly tied to our success. So our goal with this episode is to help our listeners and viewers who may find themselves in sticky situations make good decisions that can prevent bad situations from turning worse. But we're talking about decision making, right? And I want to talk about what are some things that can help us make better decisions. All right. So, Jalon, how can we give me just one thing or as many as you want? Give me something that's gonna, how can we become better decision makers?
So, without putting a blanket on everyone, right? I'm going to put a blanket on everyone. Sit back and think about the things that affect you the most, the things that you see continuously happen. One thing about the way that kind of like life is set up, things continuously happen because it's showing you that that's something that you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you constantly see yourself in situations where you're like, man, these guys are always trying to fight me, look at yourself. Because these situations are showcasing to yourself. These situations are showcasing to you that it's something in you that you need to work on for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of, like myself, the way I was able to learn and make better decisions, I never had to go through anything myself. I'm a real advocate for learning lessons through other people. If I seen someone made a mistake, I would be able to analyze their mistake and apply it to my life.
Mm-hmm.
If I seen the IRS after someone because they didn't pay their taxes, I now know what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am a big proponent of learning through other people's mistakes because I hate wasting time on my own mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I know for myself that I did, I used to make bad decisions when it came to anything driving wise, right? My license, tickets, registration, insurance, anything driving wise. Like when Chameleon said driving dirty, oh, I was the king of it. I had a suspended license at one point in time, bad registration, no insurance, right? And I got pulled over.
It's happened to me too.
And I got pulled over. And when I got pulled over, I seen how much money had to come out of my pocket in order for me to fix it. One OG, he always taught me lessons are either taught or bought, right?
That's a bar.
I would rather learn lessons than to pay for them. And that became a real thing for me. And when I wanted to learn lessons, I'd rather learn them through somebody else because I knew all my lessons require money.
Mm-hmm.
So I would begin to pay attention to see the other things that people would do. Like, for example, even if you want to take it to another level, if you go to jail and you're trying to get out, you got to pay money to bail yourself out. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to spend no money. I'm not trying to get no more money up.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to you guys as you guys were NFL athletes. The biggest consequence that they will hit you guys with when they find y'all was in your pockets.
Yeah.
The main thing that we need is money. That's the main thing that we need. That's the main thing that we work for. It's the main thing we strive for. So therefore, I think when it comes down to decision making, you have to find out where you want to be and what you want. I'm a cat who wants some bread. So if you start taking it from me, I know my decisions got to get a little bit better.
I heard
You gotta
that.
know what you not willing to give up.
You got to know what you're not willing to give
That's
up.
gonna govern your behavior.
I'm not willing to give up no money for mistakes.
Mm.
That's where I'm at with it.
Mm.
You're saying you basically understand the difference, or just really truly understand short-term and long-term consequences.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. These mistakes can't be bad investments.
Mm.
No.
I'm looking at the ending,
Yeah.
and how I can get to that point, and what decisions I need to make to keep me in that space and in that lane. And if it's gonna deter me or take me off any other way, I don't need to make those decisions. I don't need to be making those decisions.
Even in a split decision, like in the heat of the moment, how do you get yourself to even think about the end?
I kind of feel like those moments where it's split decision have to come from practice, right?
Experience, for sure.
Experience, right? Because it's like let's take it back to sports, right? We all gonna get in a position where we gotta make a decision quickly, right? And our body is gonna react based on how we prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna just take us. It's muscle memory,
Mm.
right? So whatever we've been practicing, right, that's what we're gonna resort to. we're not gonna think about it. That's because that's what happens when you have muscle memory. You don't think about it. If I throw something at you right now, you're just gonna catch it.
Right.
You're not gonna think, okay, what hand I'm gonna catch it with, right? Even if you turn this way, you might catch it with the right hand because muscle memory, that's how you program. So a lot of times I think the times where we gotta make split decisions, we make those decisions based on, you know, it doesn't even have to be considered as practice, but the things that our experiences over the years, you know. So that's why I think it's important to try to make sound decisions, even little decisions. You know, try to do things like, okay, I gotta wake up in the morning, so let me set my alarm. All right, and let me set another alarm. All right, let me be responsible with my time. If I get a ticket, let me take care of it quickly. Right, and just learning how to do those things where you can handle things effectively. You know, because shit do come up.
So
right?
you pretty much saying you're not in the business of making decisions off of a dice roll. Like, you know what? Let me say this. I'm definitely not in the business of making decisions off a dice roll, and I say that because I don't believe that creates any accountability, not only within yourself, but I don't think that also creates reliability of who you are or who your character is for other people. That's a really important thing, right? So like me, I won't just be I always call me crazy. I always think of the most wild situation that I could possibly think of prior to it happening. So when I get in the situation, I've already decided who I am in that situation.
If it happens to go there.
Like things as wild as like if I'm married and I walk in on my wife and she is in our bed and she is with somebody else, because I'm not gonna end my life over that. But if I never thought about that,
you don't know how to prepare for it.
I'm not prepared for it.
Right.
You know, I think about those things. I do. Call me crazy. That's what I said. Call me crazy. But I tell you right now, my life ain't gonna be over for it. The relationship will be, but my life won't be over for it. Not at all.
Sidebar, everyone probably thinks about that. I think everyone has thought about something along those lines for sure.
Are you giving it all up for that?
Am I giving it all up?
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna come in there and whoop some ass though.
No.
I'm gonna make the choice to not throw my life away. But I gotta bruise him up.
You gonna bruise him up?
I gotta bruise him up.
Yeah, but you ain't going to jail.
Why am I going to jail?
You're not going to jail.
He's in my house.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to jail for that. You're not.
I'm not going to jail for that.
And even like in situations like that, that's a little more black and white, right? But in situations where you could actually lose your life, right? Where it's like, yo, I'm not going to that party because last week they were shooting.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm not getting into an altercation after a nightclub because I don't know what people got on them. I don't know what people's intentions are, right? Those are decisions that we got to be aware of and say, yo, like, nah, let's take our ego out of it, right? When you get into an altercation with someone, right, the first thing we go to is like, nah, I'm not no bitch, right?
Yep.
But I'm not no bitch could put you on the ground.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that can happen. And yeah, you're not no bitch.
But your life is gone.
But now you're not here.
Yep.
You're not here. And all your responsibilities.
Right. And you were being selfish. Because now you don't have to deal with yourself not being here.
Yep.
But your friends do, your mom do, your girlfriend do, your family do.
Yeah.
All the people that cared about you.
Yeah.
And if you care about them, then you gotta make at least, if not make smart decisions for yourself, make decisions for other people.
Yeah. Another decision or choice that's really, really selfish is like leaving an event or party, whatever it is, and you toss, bro. Slizzard. And deciding to hop behind the wheel and drive home.
Yeah.
That's extremely selfish.
Yeah.
Right? You're not thinking about anybody else but yourself. You know, it's nothing for you to just make the decision or the choice to just call an Uber, Lyft. Like, we live in that time right now where that decision shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be jeopardizing other people's lives livelihood, you know, because we feel like we got to get our whip home. You know, that's really an easy decision to make. And unfortunately, a lot of people choose, you know, the wrong decision, you know, or make the wrong choice in that situation.
And that comes from people not looking at the end result. Yeah. Just looking like, okay, I'm just trying to get home. Yeah. But not thinking about what can happen. Yeah. If I don't make it home.
For sure.
You know.
For sure.
Okay. All right, here we are.
Is that halftime?
It's halftime.
Halftime, what's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to the Nice Elite Halftime Show, man. I'm your host, Omar. And you guys know what we like to do here, man. We like to promote the things that we have going on here. So if you haven't already, I know you see that trucker hat that's on Duke's brim right now. That signature trucker hat, you can find that at law17.com. Tap in with us at law17.com. Man, get you that signature trucker hat. It's seen on a lot of people right now. Mm-hmm. Plus, Duke is working on a new collection that's dropping very soon, and you want to be up to date with what's going on. Aside from that, we got the Create Gold Masterclass here, produced by none other than Jelon Webster. That's centered around learning how to build your own brick and mortar establishment. All right, so if you're someone that's in the grooming space looking to open up a nail salon, hair salon, or even a barbershop, it may be a piece of information you want to invest in. So head over to his Instagram at just.jalon.
Only if they want to invest in themselves.
Only
if they want to
serious
invest in
investments only.
Yeah,
seriously,
serious investments
only if you want to invest in yourself.
Seriously,
yeah. I didn't create it for me.
No, you want to be successful, you got to invest in yourself.
That's it.
You know?
That part.
Plain
so you
simple.
can find it in his Instagram at just.jalon. That's JALON on Instagram, or you can find it in our bio at Nice and Neat the podcast on Instagram. With that said, man, another segment of Them the Rules has become one of my favorite parts of the show. Duke, talk to us what we got.
Okay.
All
right, so check it out, fellas.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit you with another scenario, and y'all let me know what the rules is. All right, so check it out. You are out with your girl, but the energy has been off, so you both are a little on edge, right? And you both been drinking, so you're also tipsy. All right. So you guys start bickering on the way home, and at the house, she makes a smart comment, but then you make a smart comment, right? A smarter comment, and she doesn't like it, right? Which escalates things. So now you guys are in a full blown out argument, right? So she then steps in your face, all right? Steps in your space, and it's clear now. It's very clear now that things can go even further and get much worse. All right, so
not on duty.
So fellas, what is the only thing left to do? Talk to me, man.
Because we talking about Them the Rules, so this is like the universal thing.
Hey, we're gonna be real. This is what you gotta do.
This is what you gotta do.
This is what you gotta do.
If you don't, you know,
this is what you gotta do. It's the only rule.
You're not trying to end up like Ray Rice.
No.
You're not trying to end up on TV. You're not trying to end up a bad person to your girl and her family, because obviously it's somebody you love. Y'all together, right?
You're not trying to dishonor your family.
You're not trying to do that. You're not trying to embarrass your parents.
Not try to ruin your reputation.
No.
And this is your girl, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you got an opportunity to leave, right? I think it will be best to get your distance.
I'm a step.
I'm gonna leave.
I'm a step, fam.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. We've seen too many situations. You know, fortunately for us, we're at a point in life where, you know, we've seen so many people make mistakes. They're televised, they're captured, they're recorded, and they're posted on so many different social platforms. So you get to visually see exactly what it looks like to make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
On the biggest scale, you know? And then whether you're a celebrity, you know, or you're just an average person, you know, maneuvering through society, the best thing for you to do is to walk away from that situation.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to lead by leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna live to fight another day.
Right.
No
real.
pun intended.
No pun intended.
You know, so
That's real.
we could talk about it tomorrow. You know, we could apologize to each other tomorrow.
But right now,
You know, but right now, I'm gonna leave because you can't apologize for socking somebody because you was drunk. Like,
nah,
that's
Right.
never
you should
gonna,
never put your hands on
that's
me.
never gonna work. I don't believe in, none of us, I'll speak for all of us right now, none of us believe in putting our hands on anybody. So, you know, if you feel like a situation could be solved in the moment of intoxication, I'm a firm believer that no situation will ever be solved in the moment of intoxication.
Yeah.
So if you get to a point to where somebody's in your face while you guys are intoxicated, just leave. Handle that situation tomorrow. If you get called, what you get called for leaving, deal with that tomorrow. But at least you got tomorrow.
At least you got tomorrow.
At least you got tomorrow.
You live to fight another day.
You live to
Yo,
fight another day.
That's
you
crazy.
know, no pun intended.
No,
you know,
that's crazy because that's good decision making in a nutshell. You right? Understanding that this situation could really throw me, and I really want to do something, right? Because everything in me is telling me I should do something, right? So in those situations, you got to be the most tapped in with your decision making, right? And I know a lot of people, a lot of guys that are listening have gone through this. We all get heated with our partners. We all get in different arguments and stuff like that. But one thing we want to encourage is good decision making is to just leave the situation alone.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's pretty universal. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you got, what your status is. Just leave the situation alone. It's proven to, like Jalon say, man, just live to fight another day. So
And it's not always easy.
yeah,
It's not always easy.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes feelings are aggravated.
you may also be right.
You know, and you may also be right.
You may also be
You
right.
may also be right in that
But it doesn't
situation.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So yeah, we encourage you guys to we just want to put that out there, man. If you guys are in that situation, leave.
Step,
Step.
fam. I see you and your
Get
man up
on
here
and
doing your
get.
thing.
get on and get.
So I'm a step, fam.
So
So I'm a step, bro.
and fellas.
Damn the rules.
All right.
Yeah, and with that said, man, we're going to conclude this halftime show. We're going to send you guys off with some positive energy, some positive vibrations, and a smile, of course, man. Let's get into the second half. Let's go.
So as we talk about decision making, right? What if, and you know, I'm gonna be a young man coming to you too for mentorship right now.
Mm-hmm.
As we talk about decision making, and one key component for decision making is experience.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say I was a young man, because age does play a huge part when it comes to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly, catch myself making bad decisions simply because I'm young. I don't necessarily have anybody to learn from. It's just kind of like a me thing. I'm kind of just like learning from me and learning from what I'm doing and learning from the situations that I'm putting myself in. How would I be able to put myself in a better position to make a better decision?
Yeah. I think, some good advice for a lot of the YGs out there, is just, if you find yourself making poor decisions repeatedly, and you're looking for a way to make better decisions, you want to place yourself in an environment or surround yourself. And I'm speaking from experience, from some older cats who could steer you in the right direction. Like I think naturally it happened for me that I just ended up hanging around guys that were older than me. But because guys were older than me, they were going through things that I was going to experience in the future, And I think that was huge for me, right? Seeing dudes that were going to experience things that I was going to experience 2, 3, or maybe 1 year down the line, and being able to learn from their experiences and how they handle situations really taught me a lot. And I didn't even know that I was necessarily learning in the moment, but just by me being around. And, maybe you have access to older people, in your circle, maybe you don't. Either or, I would try to hang around people that are doing things that I want to do, so I could know the type of decisions to make to put myself in the position that they're in, because that's where I want to be.
For sure. I think that it's especially, like, to your point, man, it's especially important because, like you said, you mentioned a guy. If I'm a guy and I'm young and I'm inexperienced, right? And when people are young, what are they, right? They're easily influenced.
Yep.
You feel me? So if I'm easily influenced, if I'm with a bad group, I'm going to do bad shit.
Absolutely.
At the same time, if I'm with a good group, I'm going to do good shit because
Yep.
I'm easily influenced.
Yep.
That's how it works. So like you said, surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people that are doing stuff, that are doing things that you want to do, right? That stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so powerful, right?
Yep.
Hanging around people that stay out of trouble, right? Because trouble be calling.
All the time.
You know what I
All the
mean?
time.
Trouble be calling, man. You wanna if you have a girlfriend, you wanna hang around guys that are trying to be faithful to their woman.
Absolutely.
Right? If you're a girl, same thing. You wanna hang around girls that are trying to be faithful. You wanna hang around people that encourage you to make the right decisions and make it conducive for you to make the right decisions and not make it hard, right? Not make it a struggle for you to make the right decisions, not question you and, pressure you to say, deviate from your good decision making.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna it's real important because it can make it can make or break your life, honestly.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's plenty of people that no longer have the freedom.
We all know someone
Right?
who's made a poor decision who has lost their freedom.
Because they didn't have people around them saying, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't have that and you're young, you're just thinking really impulsively.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking of what you think is cool,
Mhm.
and you don't really have that foundation of support. So if I'm a young person, I'm definitely looking to change my environment,
Yeah.
and birds of a feather flock together.
Right. And it's interesting that you say that, right? Because as we were going over this topic, we were brainstorming and we were thinking just about how can we be fair to good decision making to everyone, right? Where does that sit at? Where does that live at? And one thing that I was able to come through was progress is innate.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say progress is innate, we all know when we're progressing, and we all know when we're being stagnant, and we all know when we're regressing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you make a decision off of what you want in life, right? Whether it's, as you said, take care of your family, take care of yourself, what is it that you want? Because there's always, and let me eliminate take care of yourself, because as humans, we always want to do things for other people. That's another thing that's innate in us.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to be able to show up for someone else, whether it's our mothers, whether it's our sister, our little brother, our children, whatever it is. There's progress associated with that. And that progress is directly associated with us and what we're doing in our lives. And I was thinking about decision making when it came to progress. And then I continue to go over decision making when it came to progress. And I continue to come up with just one thing. When you are seeking progress, your decision making becomes better naturally. Whatever it is that you want, your decision making becomes better because you're able to key in exactly on what it is that you want, and you're able to move towards that direction. So if my goal is to make sure that I get my mom out of the living situation that we're currently in, I'm not going to do certain things to hinder that. And to even take it a next step further, if we are in a position to where I can possibly put myself in a position to now I eliminate myself from the actual opportunity to make my mom's life better, I now can think about it a little bit differently. Even if I come from that level of aggression, even if I come from that level of machismo, as we spoke about in an earlier episode, even if I come from that, if the importance is my mom and what I want to do for her and where I want her to be and where I want her life to go and what I want it to look like, I can think bigger than me.
Yeah.
So one word of advice that I will say for anyone listening that kind of questions decision making and where they want to go in life and decisions that they make the decisions that you make bigger than you.
Yeah.
Make them bigger than you.
Yeah.
Think outside of yourself. Whenever there's something going on, think how much people care about you.
Yeah.
When you want to put your life in danger and you just be like, man, I don't care anymore. I'm ready to throw it all away. But like, is your family ready to throw you away?
Right.
Is the people you care about ready to throw you away? And you know that answer is always going to be no.
Yeah.
So make the appropriate decision based off of that answer.
You know, not speaking, I mean, the topic is, you know, how to make better choices, but really any decision or choice that you make, you're going to have to pay or answer for, right? Regardless of what it is, right? And just another situation that I could speak on, just sharing my experiences. You know, it doesn't matter who you are or what you've done for people, right? You still have to answer for the choices and decisions that you make, right? Yep. And I say that to say, as a young kid, you know, I was definitely the kid in high school who just believed, yo, if I'm nice, if I got great ability, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm going to go to college regardless. What are you talking about? I'm going to go to the league regardless. I'm nice.
Yep.
I'm nice.
Talented.
I'm nice. But like the key thing that I forgot about before becoming a pro is like you have to be a student athlete, right? I forgot all about the student part. I was like, I'm an athlete. I'm a damn good athlete at that. Matter of fact, I'm low-key the best one here. I'm low-key the best one here, you know? And I learned very quickly that like having that type of mindset didn't equate to success for me, right? So because I thought I was just the best athlete, I thought I could just skate by through school without doing my work, and people would just accept me for being this phenomenal athlete, right? Because of the choices that I made by not taking my school seriously, not doing my homework, not participating in class, you know, I found myself, and this is what I'm saying, you have to pay an answer for every decision and choice you make.
Yeah.
I found myself, in order to get eligible and cleared to get into college, I had to go to night school. I had to take a Saturday school class at a junior college. I had to take 7 periods as a senior when seniors should be taking 4 to 5 periods, you know? So like, you're going to always answer for every choice and decision that you make, whether it be immediate or whether it be prolonged. At some point, you're going to always have to answer for everything that you do. So like, I just wanted that to be clear. You know, these are experiences that, you know, I've been through, and I made my life so much harder than what it could have been or what it should have been, you know? Like, my shit should have been on easy street, but instead I chose to make decisions following, you know, people that I shouldn't have been following, you know, just making poor decisions and not being conscious and aware of my surroundings and the people that I'm looking up to, you know? So like, all of those things are important variables when we're talking about how to make better choices and decisions.
I think another thing that I would tell a lot of people that are looking to figure out what they can do to make better decisions is, I would tell someone to try to focus on controlling their emotions. And I know that seems a bit hard, but think more logical, right? Think more rational and just try to think more about a book. Even if it's against your nature, it's going to give you a chance to actually slow down and try to process what's going on. When we think with our emotions, we oftentimes make decisions we're going to regret.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that thinking logically can give us a chance sometimes, you know? And then I also would say, like Jalon said earlier, he talked about short-term consequences and long-term consequences. I want to talk about a specific thing, right? And I'm talking about, I want to give you a tangible example, right? So you're dealing with a girl, right? And you just met her. And you decide to have sex with her with no condom.
Oh, this is a good one.
Right?
Yep.
So
Got me on the edge of my seat.
Boy.
So you want to have sex with this girl with no condom, and you just met her, right? you're thinking about how good it's going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about the immediate satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not thinking about how it's going to feel after.
Mm-hmm.
What I think can help a lot of men is to think about how you're going to feel after you have sex and not how you're going to feel during sex.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to save a lot of people headaches. I think it's going to help stop a lot of people from getting people they don't want to get pregnant.
Yep.
I think it's going to help a lot of men from stepping out.
Yep.
I think it's going to help a lot of men not waste their time with unintentional relationships that are going nowhere, right? But these all go back to decision making, right? Everything comes back to decision making. So try not to think with your emotion. Try to think more rationally and try to think ahead, really, you know, and think about the end result, right? Work backwards almost, you know, work backwards and see how that can change a lot of things.
See, and like everything is about to connect now, right? Let's say you do that and it happens once, right? Consider your past mistakes. Consider your past mistakes. I'm not going to condemn you for making a mistake, right? Because some people's mistakes are bigger than others. It could have been just as big, but it just didn't turn out that way. But consider your past mistakes, right? Pay attention to them. See exactly where you went wrong in that situation so you can say, I'm not going to do that again. Like I said, I'm going to learn from other people. I don't, lessons are either taught or bought, and I'm not trying to spin shit.
Yep.
Okay? So considering your past mistakes are important, right? Within considering your past mistakes, let's say you learn from somebody else. The importance of learning from somebody else is the environment that you created. You can learn from other people by creating an environment where you learn in. You learn in an environment where people are teaching you things. People teach you things so you don't go through things. Rather than having to go through things, you can just simply grow through things.
Okay.
Talk to us.
So, myself, once again, I put myself in an environment where I can learn through other people rather than going through things. So, I can consider other people's past mistakes as my lessons to learn from. So, if you're ever in a situation, or you don't want to be in a situation, or you just want to better the situation that you're in, think about the environment that you're putting yourself in. Think about the person that you want to be. Think about the person that you want to create. One thing that I've always looked at is I look at the people that I want to be like, and I look at the characteristics of the people that I want to be like, and I put myself around those people. Those are the people I'll be around, right? The importance of that is another word. It's called exposure. Exposure is extremely important. Exposure is extremely important because without exposure, you didn't know that this thing existed, right? So sometimes you may not know who you want to be like, but you expose yourself to different people that do things that you like so they can expose you to different ways of living.
Wow.
That for me has been the greatest gift in life. By seeing the way other people live, now I can actually create a target, because you can have an idea of the way that you want to live, but you don't necessarily know because it's not your life. So you look at somebody and you say, I like the way they do things. Let's say you pick up, I like their car. I like the way their girl looks. I like the way that they talk to people. Let me pay attention to their life. And you may now see that this guy has a routine. He's waking up at 6 a.m. He's taking care of this. He's eating this. He's doing this. You didn't know food was involved in his life. Now you now know food is involved in his life. And now you're eating the certain foods that he's eating, right? You didn't know that, you know, he was involved in an entire group that they were doing the same thing so it could rub off on him. Now you're involved in this group, which means you now eliminate yourself from the old environment that you were in and place yourself in this new environment. whether people look at you a certain way or not for doing that, don't forget this. You're the star of your
Show.
fucking movie.
Man.
This is your life. You make the decisions for it. There's no one else that's going to suffer the consequences you go through.
Nope.
Nobody else is going to serve that jail time for that decision that you make.
But you.
But you.
Mhm.
So when you get an opportunity to be the star, showcase yourself in the light that you want to be in.
A bar.
On bar.
A bar.
Be Denzel.
Be Denzel.
Just be Denzel.
Be
man.
Denzel.
Be Denzel.
You don't want to be Anthony Anderson on Barbershop.
So bar.
He was great. He was great.
Oh man. All right, y'all. So you know the deal, man. We are out of time. Jelon just closed us out really strong. Thank you for the words. Thank you for the bars. But I have some words for you guys. This is one of my quotes, actually. So this is the value of the episode. So check this out.
Are we about to get a nice and
Nice
neat
and
original?
Hold on.
Oh, we
Y'all
about to
stand
get a nice
by.
and neat original?
Y'all stand
You
by
know
now.
what?
And don't buy.
I'm not gonna do us like that. Because I put it on Twitter already.
They ain't heard it here.
The last
Okay.
one was on Twitter too.
Okay then.
Go ahead,
All right,
drum
cool.
roll,
So check this out,
please.
yo. So listen up. When you really have faith and you understand that your time will come, you don't question your life when you see others living the best of theirs. All right. So what that means is trust your process.
Mhm.
All right. Trust, your story, and trust the work that you've been putting in. Right. And trust that your time is, don't get jealous. Right. Don't hate. Just keep your head down and keep working. Right. If you have faith in yourself and you truly believe in what you're working for, good things will happen for you and to you. All right. So please take note of that, man. Always be mindful of that, man. Keep working, keep your head down and just stay focused. All right. So thanks for watching. Please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. You can stream us on Spotify. You can stream us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, sir.
Comment, leave some feedback. Let us know what you thought about the episodes.
Leave
And
a review.
Leave a review as well, because we really appreciate those and we need
Yes,
those.
sir.
All right. But with that said, I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jelon, and this is Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting older now, don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm going for